Good evening. I'm Melissa Long. It is my honor tonight to introduce a reading of the play, I Will Wait, written by Amy Uptgraft and Gregory Stieber. I Will Wait uses actual veteran spouses' experiences and weaves these stories together, beginning in 1945 at the end of World War II, and travels through forgotten Korea, the volatile Vietnam era, Desert Storm, and ends with spouses caught in the current cycle of war and deployment. I Will Wait is produced by the Veteran Spouse Project. VSP is the only 501c3 in the country giving voice to the stories of military spouses across generations through their programming, which, along with producing I Will Wait, includes their Made for You expressive arts workshops and Stories We Tell archives. VSP's mission is to bridge the civilian and military gap within our communities by increasing empathy for what military families endure and fostering spouse well-being. At the Veteran Spouse Project, it's apparent to us that their stories and experiences are needed now more than ever, as frontline workers and their families are put into positions that military families are all too familiar with. They know the fear, stress, and anxiety that go into sending people they love to the front lines of war. And the fight against COVID-19 is a war of sorts, and frontline workers are the warriors who are fighting it. We want their spouses and families to know that in the midst of darkness and hard times, you survive by building a tribe and finding light within each other. VSP wants to be your each other. Their stories can be your light, and they can be a light to help you shine through the darkness. We are new to this technology. We hope you'll bear with us if we have a glitch or two. But it is an honor to share with you tonight these stories. With actors and musicians from all across the country, VSP is proud to present I Will Wait.
I run the vacuum, clean the carpet, chase the dust from the corner. I run the errands, set the table. I'm ready and willing and able. I'm on fire. Why am I so cold? Running on the edge of a dime, dancing to a lullaby, pushing the world up a hill, pushing with all my will. I'm running on the edge of a dime, dancing to a lullaby, pushing the world up a hill, turning and turning while time stands still.
Gib and I were out driving in the country when we heard over the radio that Pearl Harbor had been attacked. That ride changed everything. We came back, different people. Rosie, Des Moines, Iowa.
There was no news coverage other than Walter Cronkite in his nightly body count. They would give the body count numbers, ours and theirs. Our number was always smaller. You didn't know who was in the number. And I sat there thinking, could it be him? Might he be one of those numbers? It was the loneliest feeling in the world. He called me from the Buffalo airport and I went to pick him up, and he was sitting there on the curb with his uniform on, and people everywhere were giving him hateful looks. It literally broke my heart in two. Neither of our kids knew him when he came home. I'd been pregnant when he left and had gotten pregnant again on our 2-week R&R in Hawaii. When he came home, our little boy, he opened the door and he was so polite. He took him around the house. He showed him his room and his toys, and he was smiling. And then he took him to the front door and he said, "Bye-bye." Our son had no idea that he was going to live with us. He didn't know who he was. I think his heart broke that day. He had been gone for 13 months and he came home to hostility from his country and from his neighbors. He had 2 kids that didn't know who he was. He had a lot of anger and resentment. It took him a long time to work through it all. I mean, he survived the worst part. He did all the heavy lifting. I just tried to stand by him and help him through. Linda, Charlottesville, Virginia.
My friends back home had the luxury of debating the war over beers, and my brother even protested in Portland. 9/11 was just some time before, and our country was angry and confused and sad. Did I agree with anyone in this? Should I have an opinion? And if I did, was it my opinion or just an enraged response to one side or the other, depending on my day? Kara, Boston, Massachusetts.
I hardly know how tightly to hold you, or when it might be time to let go. I will wait, I will wait, I will wait for you.
1945, a homecoming, World War II. It is ending. Our story starts here at a huge party to welcome back some of our boys from overseas. There's been dancing, singing, some spiked punch, and a few laughs at the expense of our party planner, Connie. Here, we meet Betty, played by Olivia Botera, a close friend to our World War II spouse who will be read by Daisy Hickey, a wife who is about to see her husband for the first time in over 2 years.
Did you know that Connie over there, her family has been hosting these events for generations and generations? Her mother hung bunting in this very hall for the men who came home for the Great War.
Of course she did.
The legend is that her great-grandmother arranged an event like this during the Civil War.
For what side?
Gee, I don't know.
I'd put my money on the South. No, wait, the North. No, I don't know.
Doesn't matter, really.
No, it doesn't.
All I know is that she was such an angel to me. All of those months where I was waiting with no word, no nothing. She was there, taking care of me, taking me to socials with other wives. She kept me calm, kept me from imagining my worst fear. A uniformed man at my door with the worst news I could ever hear. Why am I preaching to the choir? You look perfect. You know you do, and you're wearing the necklace.
Of course.
Remember when he sent it to you? Right away you made me go to the jeweler with you.
You thought I was going to hawk it.
No. Yes.
I just needed to know.
That's all you would say. I need to know. I need to know. And I thought, she is so crass. Her husband sends her this beautiful necklace and all she wants to know is how much it's worth. But then I understood.
I needed to know.
And a jeweler told you.
France. I knew it in my heart somehow. In my gut, I suppose. Normandy. And he made it through.
That's where we're so different. I never wanted to know where Ralph ended up. I didn't want to know anything.
I know.
You were so good to me. All those movies we went to.
All those movies. Oh, The Bells of St. Mary's. Oh, I just love that Bing Crosby.
You would always find a way for us to miss the newsreels.
I'm always running late.
You are late for nothing. Thank you. Thank you for taking care of me.
Thank you.
Do you think we would like each other this much if our husbands hadn't gone off to war together?
I don't like you.
I don't like you either.
What if he's not glad to see me?
What on earth are you talking about?
He's done this great thing. He left our hometown and got trained to fight and jump out of airplanes. Aeroplanes! I can't even imagine what he's seen, what he's experienced, going to places that I could only dream of going to.
He went to war.
It was war, I know that, but look at what he did for us, for me, for our country, for the world, really. What have I done?
I'm proud we all got through it.
I'm proud too. This isn't about pride. It's this. How can someone who did what he did for our country look at me, who stayed right here and waited, and think that I'm anything special, anything extraordinary, anything but the girl who married him in a tiny church and kissed him goodbye 5 months later? Will he be the same? How can he be? I'm not the same. 2 years is such a long time. How am I going to make this work?
Because you are his wife, and that's what we do.
Yes. Yes, I am. And yes, we do.
And better than that, you are the wife of a soldier on the winning side of the greatest conflict this world has ever known.
At a table in the window of the cafe on the corner, you said so long ago. You're here in the fading light that glistens on the silver. You're here in the blood red wine that kisses my lips. At a table in the window of the cafe on the corner, you said so long ago. You said so long ago.
I think that if anyone were to try to match us with our story, they wouldn't be able to guess. Like if there was a multiple choice test where you could match vignettes with pictures of labels of your friends, you wouldn't be able to match us with the truth. Nobody would be able to tell that my husband suffers from PTSD. Nobody knows what exactly to say. What do you say to someone whose husband was fine one day and then so very, very not fine the next? I don't blame them. And the doctors, they talk to you like they were, or like you were their own children, and short sentences with small words. He has the worst case of PTSD we have ever seen, they say. It seems like someone would be doing better at this. There have been soldiers coming home from war for years. Shouldn't someone have some kind of answer? One day he calls and says he's coming home. Help is not helping. They give your husband a folded flag with a retirement letter with a stamp of the president's signature. And you get a letter too, for your unfailing support and understanding. If only they knew. It seems more important for your husband to get your letter framed than his own, because he knows. A nice happy ending, isn't that what everyone wants? The truth is that I don't know how this ends. The story doesn't have an ending because it isn't over yet. Anonymous, Washington State.
Sitting in silence, dying for details, combing for clues in the headlines. I live a question, only a question, over and over and over again. I'm on fire. Why am I so cold? Running on the edge of a dime, dancing to a lullaby, pushing the world up a hill, pushing with all my will. I'm running on the edge of a dime, dancing to a lullaby, pushing the world up a hill, turning and turning while time stands still.
1952, a homecoming, the Korean War. We find ourselves in the middle of another conflict in a faraway land. This time around, the patriotism is waning and America is war-weary. Our Korean spouse, played by Lindsay Hoops, is a shy and quiet introvert, trying to reassure her teenage daughter, Mary Beth, read by Peyton Uptgraft, that she will not withdraw. Mary Beth is a reflection of so many military children who have been asked to grow up overnight in the face of war and the turmoil that it creates in their young lives.
My husband is coming home today. As I rode in the car down the street behind the hearse, there were people everywhere lining the streets with their flags and their streamers, just people, perfect strangers so willing to share their sympathies and their gratitude, showing the signs of a truly grateful nation. I don't mean to seem ungrateful, but when things fall apart, I just want silence, quiet. Not that I'm alone. Her, thank God, she is so much like her father, making plans, shaking all the hands. Take charge. Matter of fact, it was her idea to bring a framed photograph of mother and daughter. A photograph we had taken last month to show him how much she had grown, because the last time he saw her, she was still such a little girl. To take that photo and bury him with it so that we could be a family one last time. Your father would have been so proud of you today. You can cut the brave act with me. You're allowed to be sad, to miss him. You can cry.
Who says that I'm not? That I haven't?
Good.
What about you? You went to the ballet alone last night. Completely alone. Mom, what happens next?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Promise me that you aren't going to run away and hide.
Honey, I won't.
I can't do this alone. I'm not you.
Honey, I can't do this alone either.
Yes, you can.
Well, I won't. I will not.
I will wait for you.
(1968), a homecoming and a departure. The Vietnam War. At a bus stop where a Vietnam spouse awaits the return of Buck, her Army doctor husband. Almost as soon as Buck returns, he informs her that he will have to return to Vietnam soon. The need for doctors over there is so great. Regan Cree will read our Vietnam spouse, and Brad Beauchamp will read Buck, our soldier.
I don't ever want to put you through this again.
You won't. You won't, Buck. It's over. No.
They need doctors over there.
No.
They need me.
No. We need you. Your son needs a father. I need a husband. No. Do you even remember last time? You know, I had to tell Doug not to tell a single person you were in Vietnam, not a single soul. You told me nothing about what you were going to be doing over there. I knew nothing. You said it would be better if I didn't know all the details. I'd worry less. Really? Huh. You know, those people out there, they're calling you a baby killer. So guess what? You're not the only one fighting a war. I'm fighting my own damn war right here.
I understand.
Oh, no, you don't.
Well, then explain it to me.
You're the doctor. Figure it out. You know, when Doug was 15 and he made that game-winning shot against Central and all the other fathers were there supporting their sons. It was me there, Buck, alone. And then when he was 16 and he had his first date, I had to talk with him about keeping it in his pants. And I can't tell you how much I enjoyed that conversation. And now at 17, when I found a joint in his shirt pocket, I did what every good father would do and told him I would kick his ass if I ever caught him doing something that stupid again. It has been me. It has always been me. If it's not this goddamn war, then it's training or TDY or more training. You are missing everything. And you will never get that back.
These soldiers. I am amputating their limbs, and I am putting their bodies back together to the best of my ability, and I am sending them back home. They need me over there. Believe you me, there aren't many of me over there. God, they are just kids. Most of them not much older than our own son. They call it service for a reason.
Oh, fuck you. Do not give me that I've got to be a good soldier bullshit. I have supported you. I have believed in you and believed that what you are doing is worthwhile, and I am beyond proud to be your wife. But you have served your time. They have taken their pound of flesh. God, Buck. I am tired. When will it be enough? As your wife, I have the right to have a say in this too, don't I? When will it be someone else's turn?
You hear a distant call to honor a duty and fall in line. You march to the beating drum of your pounding heart while I swallow mine, and you fight the good fight. I'll be the one who waits behind. You fight the good fight. I'll fight endless nights alone. I hear the distant cries. I see the signs and angry crowds march to a beating drum of a million pounding hearts. I will follow mine while you fight the good fight. I'll be the one who waits behind. You fight the good fight. I'll fight endless nights alone. I see this distant land every evening in black and white. Everyone's taking a stand, and now I'm taking mine. Why do we have to fight? Who fights the good fight? Who gets to say what's wrong or right? Who fights the good fight? Why do we have to fight at all? Who fights the good fight? Who fights the good fight? Who fights the good fight? I'll fight endless nights alone.
I swore that I would never marry the military. Then I met my husband. Paige, Honolulu, Hawaii.
With each step that you take toward the plane and away from me, I want to scream after you to come back, not to go. This is too hard, and I am scared. But you've told me time and again that the crying and the drama, it makes it too hard for you to go. I want to make it too hard for you to go. But I know that I won't. I will do whatever it takes for you to do your job because I know that you love it. And I love you. Not the country, you. I love you. Anonymous, Anchorage, Alaska.
This is what I feel. A deep loneliness that pervades my heart over a decade after my husband came home and he left the Army. For me, it's a self-imposed isolation that I created to survive those deployments with 2 young children and a new autism diagnosis as he walked out the door to Iraq. I just am not sure I ever fully recovered from it. Allie. Falls Church, Virginia.
I'm not sure how we did it. We just did. We just did. Barb, Fort Wayne, Indiana.
As I watch the men salute Buck's casket, I am welcoming my soldier home. But never the way that I had envisioned it. Charity, Lake Bluff, Illinois.
1990, a departure. Desert Storm. In a bar where our Desert Storm spouse, read by Ennis Brown. He works as a bartender and occasional musician. Lisa, a soldier, read by Quila Pettis, enters with news of a possible, potential deployment. Suddenly, their plans for the future derail.
Well, we got orders today. We're heading to Kuwait and then possibly Iraq.
Wait a minute. Oh my God. Shit. Wait. One thing at a time. What did the doctor say?
He said he doesn't see any reason why we couldn't go ahead and start trying, but I mean, we can't now.
Why?
I'm leaving. You know I have to go, right? They need me.
They need you? Lisa, come on, man. I get it. I really do. You love your job. You love the Army, but we decided to start a family. I'm ready. You're ready. You just can't go changing the plan?
If you have a problem with the change plan, take it up with my boss or something. I mean, like, damn Saddam Hussein. Have you even been paying attention to what's going on in the world today? I mean, I'm just not going to bail on them because I want to get pregnant.
Listen, really? America is looking to you for protection?
Yes. I plan to single-handedly save the damn world on my own. Listen, I've chosen to dedicate my life to this country.
What? And I've dedicated my life to us, Lisa. Look, I love you. Does the Army love you? I need you. I need you to make this family work. I don't want to do it by myself. I can't do it by myself. Do you understand that to the Army, you're replaceable?
Are you kidding me? You're such an asshole. Jeez. I'm about to head off to war where they say that it could be possibly 20,000 casualties. And you want to act like this is somehow unfair to you?
That's the thing, Lisa. You don't have to head out into this war. You're choosing to go instead of starting a family with me.
I'm choosing to go? It's out of my hands that you can't see the woman that I've become because you're too damn selfish to think of anything other than what you want.
I'm selfish, Lisa? Look, I'm giving up everything for you.
Yes. No. Look, this isn't easy any way we spin it, okay?
Look, no. Listen to me, Lisa. I've waited for so long to start a family. A family with you. When can I be done waiting?
I can't answer that. I mean, I know it's been tough, and it's going to get tougher. We won't hear from each other, but at least CNN is going to be covering it. You'll be able to know what's going on through them.
Okay. So that's that. Decision made.
I mean, what else can I say? The decision was made when I raised my hand over 9 years ago.
Oh, you can make a different decision, Lisa. Don't pretend like you do this because of love of your country. You do this for you. You do it because it makes you feel good. I get that. I do. But where's my value in it all? I chose you. I chose us. But I'm starting to realize you never chose me in the first place. I've just been tagging along by your side, going from base to base to base. You don't remember? I used to be a musician. Remember, we was gonna set the world on fire and everything. But you know what I realized? That was a pipe dream right there. You know what? Go ahead. Risk your life, Lisa. I just keep the tabs of the body count when I watch CNN. God forbid you fight for us like that in our future.
Can I fight for both?
I guess we'll just have to see, huh?
I'll see you at home.
Where else would I be?
I am the mother making ends meet. I am the lover living and longing. I am the sister wearing a brave face. While I'm marking the time, I am marching in place. I'm on fire. Why am I so cold? Running on the edge of a dime, dancing to a lullaby, pushing the world up a hill, pushing with all my will. I'm running on the edge of a dime, dancing to a lullaby, pushing the world up a hill, turning and turning while time stands still.
When I first found out I was pregnant, I was scared to death. What 18-year-old wouldn't be? For some reason, though, Stephen was so excited and couldn't wait to be a dad. Right after I delivered Stephen Jr., the nurse had everyone leave the room so I could have time with just him. That was one of the most difficult times. All I could think of was how Stephen would have loved to be there, and all I did was cry while I held our newborn son, a son that Stephen was never going to meet. I was sad that Stephen didn't get to be the dad he imagined being, scared about being a single mom at the age of 18, and mad that Stephen Jr. had to grow up without knowing his dad. But over time, I realized that the good Lord didn't have to give me 3 wonderful years with Stephen, but he did. He didn't have to give me a precious child who is my constant reminder and a living part of Stephen, but he did. So in the end, I'm blessed. Miranda, Birmingham, Alabama.
We got a puppy that year, the year that he returned home from Desert Storm. I would walk that dog every day by the water and just cry. I really think now, looking back, that maybe I was experiencing my own form of PTSD. I would walk that dog and I would wonder, was I ever going to be myself again? Mary Beth, Denver, Colorado.
I have major guilt about Matt surviving the accident in Clay Knot. That all it came down to was seating. Seating determined who lived and died that day. What kind of system is that? Jenny, Hudsonville, Michigan.
I had to introduce myself to my neighbor and ask her to keep my oldest overnight so I could give birth to my second. I had that baby totally alone. We wrote letters every single day. And I just decided to dig deep and do the best that I could. Rooney, Denver, Colorado.
2011. A departure. Global War on Terror. We are at a battalion headquarters, watching families say goodbye to their loved ones before they deploy to Iraq.
Now, you stay safe. Don't be the hero over there.
How about if I promise not to do anything that you wouldn't do?
Well, not sure how to take that one.
I'll be careful, Dad. The Army's trained me really well.
I know. It's hard to see you so grown up. You're still just my little girl.
Now and always, but I've got a job to do. Okay, I'll text you when we land in Ireland for our layover.
Ireland, Iraq, so far away.
I'll message when I can. Don't worry, I'm invincible.
Child, 60 years on this earth has taught me that no one is invincible.
I love you, Dad.
I love you more. Hurry home and keep your head down.
Your father would be so proud.
I know. I wish he was here.
Me too. What do you want in your first care package?
Reese's Cups, Snickers bars, Sour Patch Kids.
Good Lord, son, pure sugar. Oh.
Then throw in some jerky in there too.
You got it. I'm praying for you every day.
I know, Mama.
I'm praying that God brings you home safe to me.
I know, Mama.
You come home.
I know.
Good. Now, you're going to be late.
Yeah. Hey, no goodbyes. Okay, just see you later.
Okay. I love you, son.
I love you too.
See you later, alligator.
In a while, crocodile.
Ladies and gentlemen, please say your final farewells to your loved ones. The buses will depart in less than 4 minutes.
It's here again. Waiting, wondering, imagining. Feels like my full-time job. All the coming and going. And I do it well. So many care packages. Power bars and trail mix and new socks and the right soap. I email him every single day. Sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. Just a bill I forget to tell him about or something that happened with the kids. Just basic, boring, day-to-day stuff that he's not a part of. So I try to write him every day to try to make him a part of it, because this is supposed to be our life together, after all. I might miss a day here or there. And the thought of sitting back down and regurgitating our life to him one more time, same shit, but a different sunrise, I can't do it. I can't bring myself to write it down one more time. But then I make myself, I think, damn it, just do it. He wants to know, he needs to know every boring detail. And while you dream about a day without kids messing and yelling and fighting, all he wants to do is be with them. And it feels impossible to find the middle ground. So I sit down and I type and I type and I type. Except on the days that I can't. On those days I sit and I look out the dining room window and I wonder what it's gonna feel like when they come walking up my sidewalk. Because we all do that. We all picture that moment in our minds. I know that there will be two of them and they'll be in their dress uniform. I know what they will say to me when I open the door. I know that I will ask them to step inside, but I will not cry. I will let them tell me what they know. I know what he will wear at his funeral. I know what they will say to me when they hand me the flag. I know where he will be buried, and I know what songs they will play. I know all these things because on the minute that I let that in, on those moments, I can't hit send on the email.
I can smile to satisfy my pride. All the while, there's a longing that won't be satisfied. Please remember the love and life you left behind. Under this armor of flesh and bone, a tender heart is pumping full of life, and I'll be here when all the smoke has cleared. When the smoke has cleared, you know I'll be right here. When all the smoke has cleared, no retreat, I have to hold the line. In the heat of a battle, only I can fight. Don't talk of honor or how the brave never die in vain. I'll do the right thing regardless of reason, and lay my life on the line every day. And I'll be here when all the smoke has cleared. When the smoke has cleared, you know I'll be right here. I'll be here, I'll be right here. When the smoke has cleared, you know I'll be right here. When all the smoke has cleared.
Thank you all so much for taking a moment and being a part of our virtual reading of I Will Wait. It means so much to us that you are here. And I just want to thank you for being here and just for caring about these stories and what we have to say. Especially right now, we want to thank all the frontline workers and all their families and spouses. I feel for them right now. I know what that is like to live in that fear. And I want them to know that we are with them, we are standing beside them, and we are so proud of them. And thank you. If any of you want right now, there's a chance for you all to type in some questions if you're on Zoom or if you're on Facebook. My team, I think, is going to let me know if y'all have any questions off Facebook that I can answer for you. We're just going to talk for a quick second about the work that we do at the Veteran Spouse Project. So the Veteran Spouse Project is a 501c3 that uses theater and expressive arts to share stories of veteran spouses and families. We do that through 3 different programs. The play you just saw, I Will Wait, which we have produced around the country. We were hoping to produce later this year. And of course, right now, with the current state of things, we're offering this virtually to you instead. So we also offer Made for You workshops, which are expressive arts workshops for spouses. And we are about to kick those off online. We're very excited about that. And so look for that in the next month. Go over to our Facebook page, our Instagram page, our website, click for the newsletter, sign up for that so you can know what's happening. Our Facebook page has all the most up-to-date things, but we're very excited. Wendy Caldwell is our expressive arts director, and she just facilitates the most incredible workshops that give safe space to spouses to share their stories and talk about things that sometimes can be hard. Talks about ways that we can help take care of ourselves so we can in turn take care of our families. Lastly, we have a Stories We Tell programming where we go into communities and just listen to stories of spouses and family members from across generations. We're just kicking that off. We just kicked it off last week. Very excited about all of that. And then the last thing I want to share is if you feel so led, obviously, we so appreciate your support this way. We would also appreciate your support financially. Obviously, we're a nonprofit who relies on donations and grants to do the work that we do. So if you feel so inclined, you can donate on our Facebook page. You can also text VSP to 44-321, and it'll let you donate any amount. But mainly, we just want to thank you so much for all of the support and all of the things, all the things that are still to come. Okay. Oh, I see a question. What inspired me to write the play? Well, that's a very long answer. I'll try to give you the short version. Greg and I wrote the play together, Gregory Stieber. And essentially my husband's 4th deployment inspired me to write it because I just fell apart. I had a really hard time. You would think by the 4th one, I would have had it down pat. But I didn't. I had a hard time. I felt alone. We had 4 tiny kids. He had just done a deployment, he did back-to-back deployments. And I got really depressed and I had a really hard time. And I say that the play brought me back to life. Writing the play brought me back to life. Greg helped, give me the encouragement to be brave enough to put these stories. I interviewed spouses whose stories just cracked me wide open. And I just decided, okay, we're going to do this. And even if 3 people see it, it'll be worth it. And we're so proud of the work we've done producing the play all around the country. And we've seen it just really impact people's lives. We work very hard at the nonprofit to build the bridge between civilian and military communities. And we think the play does that. I mean, I'm biased. I think theater does that like no other genre of art at all. So we invite civilians to come and open their hearts and minds for 90 minutes and hear these stories and maybe have a better understanding of what their military neighbors and friends are walking through. Okay, what else? Will you be doing it again soon, or can I see about a recording? Well, we were hoping to do it again soon. We plan to do it again soon, yes. We hope to produce, there was talks about Maryland and Texas later this year, but again, live theater it's taken a pretty hard hit right now with the current pandemic. So we're going to continue to offer things online. We will have a recording of this that we'll share probably on our YouTube channel and a couple other places. Yeah, we're going to just keep getting creative with ways that we can share our programming. The Made for You workshops that are going to move online, I think will be, sorry you guys, will be really, really exciting and a great community to be a part of. So are you guys doing a full show in Fort Wayne sometime? We would love to. We will take this thing anywhere if the funding is there to do it.